เยี่ยมลูกวันนี้เราก็มานำเสนอกันต่อเนาะโอเค กลุ่มฟ้องมาหรือยังลูกเบอร์7ใช่ไหมลูก
ยังเข้ามาไม่ครบครับอาจารย์แป๊บหนึ่งนะครับ
ได้ลูกได้มันยังไม่6:30เอ้ย4:307 8 9 10 11 12โอเคฟ้อง are you ready
น่าจะยังขาดอยู่คนหนึ่งครับอาจารย์
ได้เลยโอเคเนาะโอเคยังลูกพร้อมแล้วค่ะอาจารย์เดี๋ยวแชร์สกรีนให้นะคะอะไรจ๊ะพร้อมแล้วค่ะเดี๋ยวแชร์สกรีนแชร์สกรีนได้เลยจ้ะลูกโอเค good so you can start now
โอเคครับ
ครับขออนุญาตนะครับ
ใช่ไหมครับ
อะไรนะลูก
อาจารย์ได้ยินใช่ไหมครับ
ได้ยินครับลูก
โอเคครับ
ผมขออนุญาตแป๊บนึงได้ไหมครับ อาจารย์เช็คชื่อไปยังครับเนี่ย
ครับ
อาจารย์ได้เช็คชื่อไปหรือยังครับ
ครับ
4:30เอาวันนี้เริ่มก่อนเหรอครับ
ยังครับลูกยังครับ
โอเคครับขอบคุณครับ
Okay, so we are from Group 7. Our case study is Rama Tree, Dao Khanong, Western Bangkok Outer Ring Road Express Project, and we have 3 members: me, Julchit Phumipichet, Phongsak Thana Phongsak, Mr. Phongsak, and Miss Varisala. Objective of our case study to connect the express network to the west and south, form an effective road link between the inner city and outer area of Bangkok, maintenance Ramanai Road. This is the feature. The all distance of this expressway is about 18.7 kilometers. The project will begin by connected with the Department of Highway Elevation Road on the highway number 35. 35 is Thonburi ปากปากท่อ at 19+000 of Rama 2 Road, about 2.5 before Bang Khun Tien interchange, and 6 lanes construction along median strip of Rama 2 Road across Bang Khun Tien interchange and Bang Khun Tien Chai Thale Road. The path then divide the right at Dao Khanong interchange to connect with Chalerm Mahanakhon Expressway piers, portal frame along the path up to Suk Swat Road as seen in the picture. Then divide to the east of Chalerm Mahanakhon Expressway to cross Chao Phraya River. And the new bridge across Chao Phraya River will be parallel to the Rama 9 bridge, which will be approximately 7.8 meters apart from Rama 9 bridge. The route then connects to Chalerm Mahanakhon Expressway and Sirat Expressway and ends at the Bang Kho interchange. Benefit: the first one, more convenient for road users for transportation and tourism. Then the second one, reduce time travel. The third one, reduce traffic congestion. The fourth one, the new bridge across Chao Phraya River will help reduce traffic on the Rama 9 bridge and nearby bridge. Then a positive impact on the transportation between Bangkok, Thonburi, and the southern of Thailand. And the last one, improve the connectivity of street network, city and district level.
Next, for environmental and social impact. So for physical resources, impact on soil. Construction activities can cause soil erosion. However, the activities will take place over a short period, so the level of impact will be low. And while in the operation phase, there will be no activity like excavation, so there's no impact on soil resources. And for air, construction activities as well as transporting equipment during the construction phase may particularly matter into the atmosphere. And based on the calculations with smart screen, the overall project construction will have a relatively low impact as particularly matter in the atmosphere is still lower than the standard value. While in operation phase, the predictions using the Kalin 4 model show that air emissions from motorway codes in 2050 are very low when compared to current air pollutants, and the value does not exceed the standard, so the level of impact is low. Next, noise for construction phase. For people who are more than 15 meters away from the construction site, construction activities were needed to have a 24-hour average sound level of less than 70 decibels, which is still within normal range. But in the sensitive areas, it was found that sound level exceeds the standard, so the level of impact is moderate. And during the operation phase, the prediction showed that in 2050, with the highest traffic volume, the noise from expressway does not significantly affect people at the ground level. However, some floors of high-rise hospital buildings are affected by the noise, so the level of impact is moderate. And for vibration, overall, vibration is at a level where people can sense, but does not affect the living and will not damage buildings, except in the area that is about 17.5 meters away from the construction site. And for operation phase, considering the worst case, the vibration will be at the level where people can feel, and this may disturb the living, but it will not damage the building. Next, water quality and aquatic ecology. In general, during the construction phase, there will be an increase in suspended sediment in the water, and this may result in a high value of BOD, low value of DO, affecting the photosynthesis and respiration of aquatic organisms. For wastewater, the project has managed to treat wastewater with a septic tank so that water meets the standard before discharge. And during the operation phase, pavement maintenance and expressway accidents might result in a higher value of DOD and lower value of DO, so aquatic organisms may be affected. Move to ecological resources. So the impact on land ecology during construction phase. For vegetation, some trees along the median strip of Rama 2 Road will be demolished, but trees outside the construction site will not be affected. And for animals, the project will be built in an area that is quite far from the habitat of macaque. Therefore, the implementation of the project will not have any impact on the macaque and all kinds of animal habitats. And for operation phase, the construction of an overpass may block sunlight, and this may affect the photosynthesis of trees below the expressway. Thus, the operation does not have any negative impact on all types of animals. Next, for human use values. So for transportation during the construction phase, the transport of construction workers and equipment will increase the volume capacity ratio of the road, but this does not affect the mobility except for the Rama 2 Road. And during the operation phase, this expressway network will make traveling more convenient, and this will help reduce travel time and reduce traffic congestion. And the construction of the new bridge will help reduce traffic on Rama 9. So overall, there is a positive impact on traveling between Bangkok, Chonburi, and Southern region. And for land use, during the construction phase, areas subject to expropriation will have a permanent change in land use. So the level of impact is quite high. And for operation phase of the land use, nearby areas may be converted into residential and commercial areas, and there might be an increase in the lack of adequate living areas, so this may lead to the expansion of housing and intrusion into the agricultural area. Next, quality of life. For public health and safety, overall for construction phase, both road users and public may have health problems due to pollution exposure, and for the public, there might be a problem with adequate health care centers. For road users, some areas on road might be blocked, so accidents is likely to occur. And for occupational health and safety, from unsafe working conditions and operations due to working at height, there are dangers and high risks, so the level of impact is moderate. And during the operation phase, it is expected that the project will help reduce the accumulation of air pollution in the area, and some floors in the high-rise building of the hospital are affected by the noise of construction. And there may be road accidents due to negligence or disregard of traffic. And for the impact on occupational health and safety, officers may have a chance of getting road accidents or danger while working. Next, socioeconomic. The construction may affect quality of life, and there would be a loss of business opportunities, local economy, reduced income, and this may lead to disruption of business. But these effects can be prevented and managed with appropriate measures. And for operation phase, it is expected to have a positive impact as this have more convenience for transportation, and this help reduce time travel. And for land acquisition or resettlement, during the construction phase, those who have been expropriated are affected as their houses or buildings are demolished. And due to the relocation, they need to travel farther, which this may affect their daily commute. But there's no impact during operation because the impact has already occurred and ended in the pre-construction phase. And lastly, for aesthetic and scenery, for both construction and operation phase, the area will become visually unattractive. It is a permanent effect that occurs and lasts for a long time. And this may affect the feelings of passersby on the expressway and public.
Okay. In mitigation, there are 5 parts on physical resources. As in the table of soil, there are 2 phases between pre-construction phase and construction phase. The main purpose on these 2 phases is prevent from soil erosion. So as we can see on the table, pre-construction phase is excavation and
I cannot hear you.
Hello ครับ
Okay,
โอเค
continue
ครับ
please.
เดี๋ยวขอใหม่แล้วกันนะครับ เพราะว่าผมน่าจะกดไม่ ไม่ได้กดปุ่มใหม่อะไรอย่างเงี้ยครับ
อือฮึ
โอเคin mitigation part there are 5 impact on physical resources. As in the table of soil, there are 2 phases between pre-construction and construction phase. The main purpose of these 2 phases is prevent from soil erosion. As we can see on the impact on soil in table of pre-construction phase, they are planning excavation and filling work and manage drainage system work can be proceeded only in dry season. And during a construction phase, they design foundation pipe deep down around 65 centimeters from soil surface to protect soil subsidence. And on air, the pre-construction and construction phase are having same measure due to PM 2.5 situation. They have to prevent cost of work that make loss of dust. And on operation phase, they plan to develop toll system in accordance with traffic volume to reduce the air pollution, especially on rush hours. And during pre-construction phase and construction phase, they are planning to do a spray water in the area they exposed to dust 3 times a day and clean construction tools that are dirty from sand and soil. Publicize that construction plan to people who live near construction area at least 1 week before starting work. And on noise, there are 22 areas in the area that get the effect from noise. So I have researched there are 3 hospitals, 7 schools, 4 temple, 1 foundation, and big 7 community area that get the effect from noise pollution. So the effect that they get is volume level overdo above 70 decibels during the pre-construction. So during the pre-construction phase, they try to opinion poll from people who get the effect from noise to reduce the impact and prevent the construction during school time. And during construction phase, they are planning to operation of foundation work at 9 o'clock until 3 p.m. only. And during at night time, they will transportation of the rush material only because during the daytime, it may cause the traffic jam. And in operation phase, they plan to use metric sign for limit the speed to prevent noise pollution at night time. On vibration during pre-construction and construction phase, they have same measures to prevent vibration from carry heavy stuff that can make road damage. And on operation phase, they will set a checkpoint for truck for control use. And impact of a water quality and aquatic ecology. Pre-construction phase and construction phase have the same measure, so proceed by follow preventive measure and reduce impact of hydrology and surface water quality strictly, and do not dispose construction waste into the water sources. On ecological resources, impact of land ecology. As the same pre-construction phase and construction phase have the same measure, so they will record volume, type, and quantity of tree that must remove from the construction area and set the scope of construction field. After that, in operation phase, coordinate with the Department of Highway and District Office for choosing tree species appropriate in the area. And next slide in human use value. Impact on transportation. Pre-construction phase and construction phase have a same measure, so they will proceed to set up traffic sign to be aware with car accident and coordinate with local police for traffic work during rush hour. In the morning will be 7 o'clock until 9 o'clock, and in the evening will be 4 p.m. until 6 p.m. And in land use, in this we have only in construction phase only, so they limited the construction area as much as necessary to reduce the impact of transportation and plan to reduce the impact of changing the route temporarily or the time when the starting construction work. Next slide. Quality of life, socio-economic. So pre-construction phase and construction phase, they decide to publicize the project construction period, project owner, budget, and contact for appeal. And in impact of resettlement, there is only pre-construction phase for legal measure by setting the compensation of the estate in case of land expropriation, and impact on public health and safety. The construction phase will have contractor must comply with the law of occupational health and safety announcement of the Department of Labor, Protection and Welfare. And next slide. In impact of aesthetic and scenery, in pre-construction phase, they design a bridge that harmonious with the environment Lamanai Bridge to reduce the impact of composition and obscuring vision. And construction phase build a fence that cover the construction area by using a color that harmonious with surrounding environment for positive psychology. Next slide. After I tried to research about other alternative, the reason they try to build a Ramatri Dakonong bridge because to reduce the impact of traffic in case of traffic bottleneck, as Ajahn can see on the left figure, after we pay for toll plaza, when we pass it, we can see the bottleneck that make a traffic jam every morning during rush hour and evening during go back to home. And the second reason is on the right figure is because they want to repair and reduce the burden overload of Ramanai Bridge, because this Ramanai Bridge haven't repaired and reduced for 30 years, and most of accident is truck always get stopped because the expressway is too high for passing. And next slide, please. In conclusion, there are some issues need stronger defensive measures to control the current environment impact. And from this project, we found that there are 7 negative impacts on the environment. For instance, air quality, noise pollution, transportation, socio-economics, expropriation, occupational health, and safety aesthetics. According to the report, the most significant impact is air quality due to PM 2.5 situation. Before constructing the new bridge across the Chao Phraya River, Lamatu Road is the main road that people use to travel to the south part of Thailand, which significantly affect air quality as the vehicle emitted more polluted air into the atmosphere. On the other hand, the construction of the new bridge can help reduce traffic and reduce the air pollution. Thank you.
Thank you, Krab. Fong and friends and everyone, very good. You cover every topic. Very, very good. So now I try to explain for every group. You did a good work. Let's see. Firstly, I share my screen. Good job. Then every group that already presented and the one that who will present will know what is the next. So your group give all of information that cover everything that it should have in the report. However, we will emphasize more and more in the details. Let's see, like this. First of all, I forget to tell you that in the report, we should first introduction why we need this project, like a statement of problem, why the project is necessary to be done. Traffic jam, or if we have this kind of project, then we can reduce the traveling time, make the people convenient. Okay? Long, understand or not? Okay, just introduction. And for every group, it's like this. Now, we come to the case study, everyone. And every group from 1 to 7 already did the good job. You present the overview of the project. Very good. I'm appreciated. Now, next time for the group number 1 to 6 and another time for the group number 7 to 13. Okay? We will go into detail like this. For example, you said that during we have two phases, right? Now, during construction phase, the project is not finished yet. And when project is finished, then we operate. We begin the project. Okay. So for each phase, we will do for the construction phase first. Okay. For every project in the construction phase, you said that there will be a dust, there will be a vibration, there will affect the traffic jam during the construction, something like this. That's good. We know the impact, but we would like to know how they calculate. How do they know? Is it true? Which concept? Which principle? Like this. This information will be available in the report that you study. If it is not mentioned, no worry, because some report is so brief. They did not mention, I understand. Some report is not perfect, I understand. No worry. If you cannot find this information in the report, let's do like this. If you cannot find, you go to see handbook. We have handbook, many handbook. Let's go to see in the library. Okay? We have the handbooks of EIA. It will state clearly the concept and method, how to evaluate, how to forecast what will happen, how to forecast what will happen. How do they know? Okay? I would like to know, and you would like to know too, right? It's interesting. So next time we will emphasize on this methodology. Which method they use to forecast? Which method they use? Concept. How do they know there will be a lot of dust? By which way? Okay. And then try to quantify how much, how many ppm of the dust. Okay. And what is standard value? It can be above standard value, no problem, because we will move to this part, how to reduce mitigation, right? How to reduce. And then the last part is when project finish, when we operate the project, we will have a phase of monitoring. Whether it is the same, which method we use to monitor. Okay, that's all. So everyone did a good job. I'm appreciated. You have already the big picture of your project. Now, next time we do the only during construction phase first. This phase first, by this phase, by the impact. You can follow the list that Frank gave. Frank, he list every list that is good, very good. Every point, every item, you list every item. Okay, so this is during construction phase. Which method they use? How do they know that it will impact this item? How much? And we will compare with the standard value and we will keep it in mind, because we will continue to another part that is how to reduce that impact later on. Okay, so now, and then after every group finish, then come back again. Method during operation. When project is operate, they have the method, right? To forecast. During they do EIA, they imagine, they have the concept, they calculate, they think that when project operate, what will happen, right? they have method to calculate what will be the air quality that these road affect. How do they know? They have air quality model, something like this. Okay, if in the report did not mention, do not worry, but in fact the report should mention. Okay, so every group understand, right? Okay, so ครับ
กลุ่ม2นะครับวีคที่แล้วไม่ได้พรีเซนต์ครับพอดีเมมเบอร์ในกลุ่มไม่วางขอพรีเซนต์ได้ไหมครับ
at the end นะครับ go to the number 8 นะครับนะลูก number 8 first นะครับ 7 and number 8 okay number 8 are you ready
ครับอาจารย์ครับ
okay
เดี๋ยวขออนุญาตแชร์สกรีนนะครับ
โอเคครับลูก
อาจารย์ได้ยินผมใช่ไหมครับตอนนี้
ครับผมชัดเจนเลยลูก
ครับ so we are from group 8 so today we're gonna talk about Lam Shabang port so let's start with introduction first so Lam Shabang port has been the leading maritime port for Thailand as the largest port in Thailand the deepwater LCV facility has flourished in the year becoming a beacon for industry and spurring growth through the region. Located 130 kilometers south of the capital Bangkok in coastal province of Chonburi. So the next one is the objective. The objective of Lam Shabang port is to assess the social impact and the public participation of the development project from the Lam Shabang pier. And to find the guidelines and the measurement to reduce the impact of Lam Shabang port development project. So the next one is project feature. So the project feature. This about the organization of Thailand. The national scales development plan in Thailand were begun with the designs of first national economics and the social development plans in 1961 to 1966. Which was based upon a device of the World Bank in 1957. The National Economic and Social Development Board, it can call as NESDB, was organized to be in charge of this project. The IJICA, or is can call as Japan International Cooperation Agency, defined the NESBD as an organization which drafts national development plans, which are national midterm plan, as well as determining the order of precedence of project, the demand the various position of ministry and agency in according to the nation development plan. So this graph shows the plan of like development, like people who came to like in charge of the Lam Shabang project. So the next one gives to my friends to talk about it.
So moving on to benefit of project is allow goods to be shipped to other country and stimulate the industrial and residential areas and etc. Stimulate the economy between countries and within country. Moreover, environmental impact is not environmental friendly to aquatic species and disturb or may destroy the aquatic species places to live. However, it may pollute the ocean and ultimately detrimentally affect the food sources of the aquatic species too.
So let's continue with social impact. And social impact of Lam Shabang port constitutes an important economic activity in coastal areas. The higher the total of goods and passengers year on year, the more infrastructure provisions and associated services are required. This will bring varying degrees of benefits to the economy and to the country. Here is minimizing the impact. So, mitigating negative port impacts is essential for the long-term survival of ports and port cities. Even if ports generate large local economic benefits, building on competitive strengths in service, industrial development, or consumer-driven port-related waterfront development. These negative impacts can be considerable as illustrated in and can relate to the environmental impacts such as pollution of air, water, and soil, land use, traffic congestion, and risk related to climate change and security too.
So let's talk about the conclusion lastly. In conclusion, in investing in the construction of Lam Shabang Port is an investment in the country infrastructure development project and the public service. Lam Shabang Port is necessary to spend a lot of money and has a long project implementation period. The government and all stakeholders should continue to study and analyze the Lam Shabang Port project to know the risks or the consequences that may affect the operation of on environment, economies, and society. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
มากครับอาจารย์
Good. You give the very good brief information and overview of your project. Yes, that is good thing. However, I would like to remind you a little bit, and then you can further study, but just to remind you to why. Start. I will share my screen just to remind you to do some checklist. Anyway, you give the brief and all of information that is necessary to understand the project. Very good. However, for example, for this one, when we talking about the project as an engineer, we would like to know where is it, showing a map, where is it in the world. So where is it in the world? We can locate it by latitude, longitude. That is the unique value, right? If we know the latitude and longitude, we will know exactly where is it in the world, and then we can expand the map to see further where is it in Thailand, and then show the project area. Then we know the feature of the project briefly as an engineer, the view of engineering point of view. And then the project feature may be something like the plan and the component of the project. Okay. Then we can do this later on, never mind. And then when we talk about the benefit, it should be quantified how much every item. And then concerning the environmental impact, we can do it systematically. You can follow the format that the previous group, the group number 7 did. We have the first of all, we have the environmental impact on physical resource, right? And then so on, many things. And each one for physical resource, we should check whether it give the impact to the air. It gives the impact to water, yes. It gives impact to the soil, yes. Because this one, sure, it gives the negative impact to water, right? Because we have many boats to come to the port. And then the port will have the dirty due to the fuel, due to the oil, something like that, right? And the soil. So and this one we should divide into during construction phase and during operation phase. Never mind, you can put it later on. We have to do it systematically, checklist, and then for the next time we should add the methodology, how can we forecast, right? And then to minimize. Okay, thank you very much, the group number 8.
ครับอาจารย์ครับ
ครับผมลูก we can put it later on and let me see our member วริศราเมย์มาไหมคะ
มาค่ะ
จ้าเลิกเจลมาไหมลูก นุ่นมาไหมคะ กรีนมาไหมลูก
มาค่ะ
ค่ะลูกกรีนนะพบพรสเช็คชื่อแล้วนะครับ นี่เช็คชื่อพบพรสนะครับพบพรสครับพบพรสอยู่ไหมครับ
พบพจน์มาครับ
โอเคครับเช็คชื่อแล้วนะครับ สัญญพงศ์ซี
สัญญาพงษ์มาครับ
ครับผมเลิกนัทนันโบเลิกซิมิลานสปันมาไหมลูก
มาครับซิมิลัน
ครับผมน้ำพุกิตติพจน์
มาครับ
ครับผมปิงสุกฤตปิงลูกยังทาโร่ลูกทาโร่ลูกน้ำหวาน
น้ำหวานมาค่ะ
ค่ะลูกต้องธนกรต้อง
มา
ลู
ค
ก
รับอาจารย์
โอเค
มาครับ
รัศกรลูกรัศกร
มาครับ
ครับผม พันธการพานลูก
มา
ครับผมธัญพงศ์กายลูก
อาจารย์ครับธนัทพลเมื่อกี้ไปเข้าห้องน้ำครับ
ไหนนะลูก
ธนัทพลครับอาจารย์
โอเคทาโร่ครับ
ครับอาจารย์ขอบคุณครับ
ครับผมธัญพงศ์ครับลูกไม่เป็นไรเดี๋ยวก็ค่อยขานได้นะยูโรชนาทิพย์ธนาทิพย์มาไหมครับศิรินทราโย
มาค่ะ
ค่ะลูกชาติสิรินัท
ครับผม
ครับผมสุภชัยซีน
มาครับผม
ครับ สังเก are you here
Yes อาจารย์ I'm here
yes สังเกไอซ์ชาครีมาก่อนใครเลยใช่ไหมลู
ครั
ก
บผมอาจารย์
โอเคธนภูมิลูก ภูมิ กิตติพจน์ ทัชพล เอิร์ธพงศักดิ์แมนยู
มาครับ
ครับผม จอห์นลูก จอห์น
มาครับผม
ครับผมฮวนลินห้วน
มาครับ
โอเค ฟ้องมาแล้วจ๋านวานานลูกพานุพงศ์ก้อง
มาค่ะ
มา
จ๋า
ครับ
นะลูกนะ เดี๋ยวนะจ๋าใช่ไหมลูกโอเคก้องลูกก้อง
พานุพงศ์มาครับ
ครับ พรหมพลลูกเก่ง
ผมพลมาครับ
ครับ วิมลสิริแบม
มาค่ะ
ค่ะลูกกนกพลลิว
มาครับ
ครับชวิตจีลูก
มาครับ
ครับนรพัฒน์ลูก
มาครับ
ครับผม วรวิทย์ลูกสรวิทย์วิน
มาครับ
ครับนภัสลูกนภัส
มาครับ
ครับผม โอเคเดน after
อาจารย์ครับ
after
ตุกเกตด้วยครับ
อะไรนะลูก
ตุกเกตด้วยครับ
สุกฤต
ปิงครับ
ธัญช
พั
น
ช
ด้วย
พลด้วยครับ
เดี๋ยวนะลูกทีละคนนะ สุกฤตปิงค่ะ ใครอีกคะ
ธั
ลู
ญ
ก
ชนค่ะธัญชน
ชื่อเล่นอะไรนะลูก
เกลค่ะธัญชน
จาลูกเจลใครอีกลูก
ชนาทิพย์
นุ่น
ด้วยค
ภา
รับ
ชินีด้วยค่ะ
นุ่นลูกนุ่นโอเค แล้วใครอีกนะคะ
ค่ะ
ชนาทิพย์ยูโรครับผม
ยูโร ครับผม
ขอบคุณครับ
โอเค
พัชพลเอิร์ธครับ
เอิร์ธลูกเอิร์ธครับ โอเคครับลูกเอิร์ธใส่แล้ว
อาจารย์ครับ แล้วก็พัชพลด้วยครับ
ชื่อเล่นอะไรนะลูก
พัดครับ ที่ทำเหรียญ registration ไปครับ
พาร์ทเหรอลูก
ใช่
อ๋อ
ครับ
ครูบอกผิดวิชานะเนี่ย ที่ครูไปบอกครูบอกอีกวิชาหนึ่งเขาบอกว่า โอ้ยมึนครูไปโพสต์ในอีกวิชาหนึ่งอะพัดถามฟองกันแล้วกันนะลูกนะนภัสใช่ไหมลูกพัดเนี่ย โอเค พัดคือนรพัฒน์ใช่ไหมลูก
ไม่ใช่ครับ ไม่ใช่ครับ
พัดคือนภัส
ที่คุยไม่ใช่ครับที่คุยกับอาจารย์ในไลน์อะครับ
ชื่อจริงชื่ออะไรลูก ชื่อจริงชื่
พั
อ
ช
อะไร
พลครับพัชพลครับ
พัฒพลเหรอกูเคยเขียนอย่างนี้ไหมเนี่ยสงสัยไม่เคยหรอกไม่เป็นไรเอาเขียนใหม่ โอเค group number 8 8ไปแล้ว number 9 group number 9
ครับ เดี๋ยว
โอเค
แชร์กินก่อน
โอเค
ขึ้นไหมครับอาจารย์
ขึ้นครับลูกเห็นชัดเจนเลย
Okay, so first of all, good afternoon, Ajan and my mates out here. We are Group 9 and we have come up with the case study of Muang Rayong Combined Heat and Power Generation Plant. So firstly, if I give a brief background on this project, the rising need for consumption by homes, business, and industries has come from Thailand's growing population and economy. So, in order to promote land use for industrial development and offer facilities and infrastructures for the operation of industries, the company has operated as a public company in the petrochemical, oil refinery, and energy industries. According to survey, as a result of industrial capacity and plants, the need for steam and power for industries inside the IRPC Industrial Park is presently continuously expanding. So IRPC Public Company Limited has planned to develop the project entitled Mueang Rayong Combined Heat and Power Project, which will be further called project. The capacity of the power producing is 240 megawatts. Next slide, please. So now we have the objectives of project. We have focused on the objectives based on EIA report. So the first objective is to study the project description such as location, project components, processes, infrastructure system, pollution and control, and other details related to construction and operation of the project. Second objective, to study the existing environment, natural resources, and use values of the study area. The third, to assess the expected impacts of action and operation of the project in order to related to the environment and natural resources. Fourth objective is to specify the prevention and mitigation measures for the possible impacts on environment and natural resources. And the last objective is to specify the monitoring programs for the possible impacts on the environment. Next slide, please. Now, if I talk about the project features, this project is located in IRPC Industrial Park in Chongnyong Sub-District and Mueang in Rayong Province. This project is owned by IRPC Public Company Limited. If I talk about the study area is located in Ampur Muang Rayong, which is located in the south of the province with a tidal flat geography at the coastal area from the sandbank to the north, which includes Rayong estuary. General geography characteristics of such area are floodplains during the whole year, while the nearby zone can be described as alluvial plain and floodplain. Okay. So here is the map. This map is referred as study area, and this clearly shows the study area for the assessment of environmental impacts of project. So the consultant has studied the existing environmental situation, the project and surrounding area in the distance of 5 km radius, as can be seen in the map. So this area is classified as the potential area for environmental impacts. So the area will be further called as study area, as I mentioned above. Next slide. Now, if I talk about the benefits of this project, Muang Rayong combined heat and power project would bring out the benefits for the country, both at national and local levels, as mentioned below. Firstly, in the national level, this project will build for sorry, Ajahn, there's network lagging. Reduction of investment burdens for Thai's government for electricity generation and mega project will be reduced. That is mainly from the taxes by handing over to the private sector. The next benefit at national and reducing the total trade balance. And the last benefit I have is to promote of efficient power generation of combined heat and power system with clean and advanced technology. Okay, next slide, please. At the local level, project will co-fund for Power Development Fund of IRPC Public Company Limited for the community to be used to enhance their living quality and environmental sustainability. Representatives of the communities surrounded the project will be joined as committee for fund management under supervision of the Energy Regulatory Commission, ERC. People will be able to participate for the management of Power Development Fund. So this is recognized as the promotion of people participation. IRPC Public Company Limited will be fully and appropriately support various types of community development project in order to enhance the local development. The last benefit would be taxes generated by the project that will be directly paid to the local administration organization, which will then help enhancing the project development of the community.
Next, I will talk about the environmental impacts. The first is the power plants has seriously impact on land, soil, air, and various social impact. The power plants are also said to emit large amount of mercury and generate large quantity of fires which destroy the surrounding environment. These plants also consume a large amount of water. Power plants emit pollute and water vapor as flock into the atmosphere that could affect the growth and survival of certain vegetation communities. Some pollutants are toxic or promote disease that damage or kill plants. The most often heard of impact of electricity generation is the production of greenhouse gas emissions. When natural gas are burned, the combustion process produces substances such as carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, particulate matter, and even heavy metal. And in the EA process, both negative and positive impact or assess and predicts in accordance with existing environmental in study area in terms of change toward physical and biological, environmental resource, human use value, quality of life, including health impact of the project's worker and community member during both construction phase and operation phase. Next slide, please. For the social impacts, first, the construction phase is unlikely to affect to the air quality over the construction zone and the surrounding area or community. This is because the air pollutant during the construction work is likely to be lower than the specific standard level and can cause to people surrounding area health. During the construction phase, for pipeline system like main trenching, pipe sliding, pipe lowering, and backfilling, such activity may cause loud noise to the community surrounding area. Area grading and trenching during the construction phase may cause 4 to 5-fold of soil erosions, particularly in rainy season when the sediment soil fall down through lower land prior to surface water source nearby. This may cause the contamination of sandy soil sediment in water course such that the canal could become shallow and water turbidity may become higher, and the impact of contaminated wastewater from routine construction activity conducted by the contractor worker is unlikely to affect the quality of underground water. Next slide, please. And to minimize the impacts, first is strategically follow environmental impact protections, mitigation and monitoring measure in accordance with environmental management operation plan as stated in the EA report of natural gas transmission pipeline project for combined heat and power generations plant in Mueang Rayong. Implement such as measure as guidelines in impacts controls and monitoring by the citizen and relevant organizations. And for the soil erosions must be protected during the open cut excavations, while excavated soil will be used as backfill after the pipeline alignment and in area with sandy soil or erode soil. Be cautioned in the grading surface at least as possible during the pipeline alignment work. And for the maintenance work should be done only on hand ground with appropriate storage, not in the construction area, and provide absorbent material such as sand dust, rags, sand. And for the cleaning spill oil in working material or equipment, it should must be deposited the same way as that the hazard waste. And for providing monitoring team to inspect the area condition after the construction phase, consider to hire local people to mitigate in conflict which may occur when immigrating worker and hired. The requirement may be announced via community leaders or who are willing to assist seeking qualified human resource who are suitable for the project and control unwanted behavior which may caused by the worker closely to avoid announcement which may happen in the nearby community in the construction zone. Next page, please.
Okay, so I'll take over on the alternatives of this project. So before we look at the alternative, we have to see like what the proposed project that we propose is gonna give us. So this type of power plant has another name for it. It's a cogeneration power plant. So as Sanjay said, that the generation capacity is 240 megawatts. So from my personal research, there are some multiple sources of renewable energy, such as solar power plants and nuclear power plant. So these two were selected because it illustrates the both extreme ends of the concept. So the solar power plants represent the very renewable energies like solar, wind energy, and much more. So solar power plants, one solar panel can provide 2 kilowatts of electricity. This data is from the USA. So it can be seen that to match the production of the cogeneration power plant, you need a large amount of them. They consume a large amount of space to be built, and they are highly dependent on sunlight. So cloudy days and night times are gonna require a large amount of battery to supply them. And for nuclear power plant, from what I found, the largest nuclear power plant in the United States can produce around 3,937 megawatts of electricity, which is way more than cogeneration power plant. But the problem is there are more environmental impact on the environment, such as the mining of uranium, which is gonna cause a lot of impact on the area that it was found. And the hot water, which is used to cool the core of the power plant, which if released into the environment is going to destroy the ecosystem around it and much more. In addition to that, they also have huge amount of water that is required. So majority of the time you need to build it close to the water, and there's a lot of treatment that is needed before those water can be released back into the ocean. There are also hazards from nuclear accidents, either from human errors or from environmental disasters. And the last thing, which is pretty difficult for Thailand to deal with, is the nuclear waste, which I believe we didn't have any facility to deal with them yet. So the conclusion that I think we can make is that this probably give us the best solution, like in the middle ground between the two spectrum of the alternatives. So it does help reinforce the power security in the eastern region of Thailand, as the objective of the project mentioned, and the heat from the power plant like these, like from the cogeneration power plant, can also be used to support the surrounding communities, such as desalination of seawater, which can provide drinking water for the surrounding communities. Along with it can also be used to produce to generate chilled water to help with the air conditioning system. So we believe that this might be the most appropriate solution, which for both the company and the country. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So this group, you cover everything, every item, so we can go into detail later on for the next another time. Okay, thank you very much. And then another group number 10 ค่ะ. Please share your screen.
ได้ครับ
ครับผม
อาจารย์เห็นไหมอะคะ
ยังเลยลูก ให้ครูแชร์ให้ไหมลูก แชร์ได้ไหม ให้ครูช่วยแชร์ไหม
ได้ไหมคะ เห็นหรือยังคะ
ใกล้เห็นแล้วลูก ใกล้แล้ว ยัง แต่มันเหมือนใกล้จะเห็นแล้วลูก น่า เห็นแล้วลูก
Okay ครับ Good afternoon everyone. So we are from group 10 presented by Kunwaran, Pandikan and Panupong. So we are going to talk about Saipan Vanli International Resort Hotel. So what this resort hotel different from other is that they are 3-in-1 resort, which has casino, free tax shopping mall, and resort. And next slide. So the objective of this is that the icon building for Saipan is a building capable of attract people and tourists from all around the world. So the concept of the layout is the material are in modern style. Inside this new building, we plan 3 main functions, which is, as I said before, resort, casino, and free tax shopping mall. And the casino and the duty-free shopping mall are in the building podium together with the resort lobby. Above the podium, we plan the resort. Next, please. So our project description will be the resort will have all the room facing the beach and the sea, as this resort is 5-star hotel layout, which have big bedroom with separate WC bar, small living room, and queen size bed or double side bed. All rooms are close to tourists because all the casino with a small spa area facing wonderful Saipan Sea view. And there are two restaurants in the hotel as well. And the next, please. So The benefit of the project provides as the customer service is that all rooms have an ocean view facing the South Pacific Ocean. Second, dine at various themed restaurants using our go-kart. Third, Saipan largest water park with marine activity and multicultural staff, experiencing the culture of Saipan through the variety of program. Thank you. And next person.
I cannot hear you ค่ะ
Green finish.
ไม่ได้ยินหรอกคราวนี้ I cannot see the screen screen disappear
ได้ยินไหมคะ
ได้ยินแล้วลูกโอเคได้ยินแล้ว
ต้องมาเปิด
เห็นทั้งหน้าจอพูดฮัลโหล
ฮัลโหลค่ะ
โอเค
ต่อเลยนะคะ Environmental impact. Individually, hotels do not have a significant negative impact on the environment. Collectively, however, they consume huge amounts of resources. Hotels and other types of accommodation contribute 2% of the 5% global CO2 emission by the tourist sector. The three key areas of environmental impact are energy, water, and waste. Energy. Hotels generally use more energy per visitor than local residents, as they have energy-intense facilities such as bars, restaurants, and pools, and have more spacious rooms. Studies have determined that a hotel emits an average 20.6 kilograms of carbon dioxide per night. Waste. A study also identified that hotels are not only resource intensive, and that waste generation is one of the most visible effects on the environment. One estimate identified that an average hotel produces in excess of 1 kilo of waste per guest per day. Water. Tourists and residents alike require a clean and dependable supply of water for survival, including drinking, cooking, and cleansing. However, water is integral to the amenities usually expected by tourists, such as swimming pools, landscape gardens, and golf courts. Water also supports industries such as agriculture that support the tourism industry. For the social impact, throughout the islands, in order to accommodate this growing industry, the construction of hotels and recreational facilities has often been in direct conflict with the interests of local residents, who are wary of change and the effects it will have on their livelihood. Many wish to preserve their culture and lifestyle, which they see threatened by development projects and population growth. Despite this concern, the island economy has become increasingly dependent on tourists and resort development over the years. The people affected the most by this economic and environmental change are the indigenous people of the island. As natural habitats are destroyed, fish and other food sources disappear. As land prices escalate, housing and farming become more expensive, and communities, especially rural ones, are severely impacted. Minimize impact or mitigation measures. 9 ways hotels can reduce their impact on the environment. 1. Install energy-saving technologies. 2. Embrace recycling. 3. Encourage guests to be green. 4. Start composting. 5. Save water. 6. Plant a garden. 7. Support local sustainable business. 8. Implement alternative energy source. 9. Practice what you preach.
Okay. Thank you very much. Oh, not oh,
ยังเหลืออีกครับอาจารย์
Not yet.
another two. Okay.
Or the other alternative. First one is motel. The motel have a smaller room space, but low budget. And the second one is homestay. The homestay has some more casual home facilities and low cost. And the third one is guest house. That is the most casual one, but less facilities and also low cost. Next. Implementation. Why resort hotel? Because resort hotel is often contain full-size luxury facilities with full service, accommodation, and amenities. These hotels may attract both business conference and vacationing tourists and offer more than a convenient place to stay. And that's all for our group. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is another interesting one in another aspect, right? And how to say, my comment is same as the group number 8. So my comment is the same for every group. Okay. Thank you very much. So we can do it later on in detail. Next group is group number 11. Are you ready?
Ready ครับ
ครับผมเชิญแชร์สกรีนเลยครับ Oh, another hotel. No hotel. Let's see.
So we are from group number 11. We are going to our project is the Novotel Bangkok at Future Park Rangsit, the new one. So the feature of this hotel, it is in the center of Pathum Thani, beside the shopping center Future Park Rangsit. It is 11-story building with 226 rooms with restaurant and bar. It can be it also can be the meeting place and for the event holding. Objective of the project, it is to improve the economic of Rangsit district to attract more people to visit, develop the estate area for tourism, more choice for tourists, and increase employment of local workers. Also income distribution.
The benefits of the project. First is the airport layover to provide the hotel accommodation for flight attendants, passenger, and cabin crew. And reduced travel time is considerably reduced for the economic. Increase the revenue to elevate future park income since the venue area provide as wedding and meetings venue. And the main attraction to provide tourists and travelers to visit other highlights of the city. For the environment and social impact assessment, in the construction phase, there are edification and congestion of the driveway occurred during the transportation of the construction. Also, construction causes an impact on air nearby the local area. And during the construction phase requires workers and hotel staff make more opportunities for the local people to get a job. And they also support local businesses by purchasing products locally and can benefit the community. For the renovation, it may cause noise transport and pollution. For waste, the moderate solid and liquid waste such as energy, foods, water, and other resources are generated.
So for the minimizing impact, we have reduction of construction waste, and also provide eco-friendly system. Also regularly water treatment and reducing of energies. So we have a plan for electrical usage plan. And alternatives for hotel, we have homestay and hostel. The differences are that they homestay have better authentic experience and more variety. Also come with cheaper costs. And hostel, we have casual experience because we have to meet other people and also reduce of cost. And conclusion is hotel have very different from homestay and hostel. They have better decor and better service. So in our opinion, we think that hotel will provide visitor with exquisite traveling experience. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So my comment is the same as a comment to the group number 7 and group number 8. Thank you very much. Good, you give the information that cover your project. We can go into detail later on. Okay, group number 12. Look, Petro, this Mexican อะไรเนี่ย Oh, it's interesting. Every project is interesting. Okay, let's try to present.
So our project will be on the content of our project will be on P-Torres Mexicanos or PMax pipeline.
Yeah.
Our content include objective of project feature, benefit of project, environmental impact, social impact, and other alternative. And the last one is conclusion. Start with objective of petroleum pipeline. First is effective and safer petroleum transportation system. So as shorten deliver distance, leakage of container hazards during the process. Second is lower operating costs, less employee and fixed maintenance costs. And the last one is interconnected pipeline complex network, such as transportation flexibility. Project features. PMax is a company involved in the exploration, production, industrial processing, refining, transportation, and marketing of oils. Its products include petrochemical, natural gas, liquid gas, sulfur, gasoline, kerosene, and diesel. It is one of the largest petroleum companies in the world.
Okay, slide please. The Pemex pipeline map in Mexico. As you see in the picture, you will see the petroleum resource area. The red one represents the main oil field, and the purple one represents main gas field. The map shows how long the pipeline is. The line represents the pipelines. The red one is the oil pipeline. The purple line is gas. You see some line go abroad to the USA for exporting. Why Pemex pays significant in Mexico? The Mexican government can collect the tax revenue that is provided from Pemex companies. It's about a third of all tax revenues. It means that Pemex is the largest company in Mexico and one of the largest oil companies in the world. Next slide, please. Benefits of project. The pipeline is the one of public utility will lead the economic growth. As the network of pipeline can distribute the oil field efficiently, they can transport the large capacity and they can save the cost by continuous transportation. They can reduce the surface footprint, makes more consumer convenient, and they reduce risk of accident that mostly occur from highway transportation by using container truck, and also reduce pollute substance. Next slide, please. Environmental impact. The first is overconsumption. This is indirect impact because it's not affect directly from pipeline system. It's direct from consumption. It affect to global warming and climate change. The direct impact will occur from accident when the failure of container happen, such as explosion and leakage substance. It will affect to land damage, loss of biodiversity, wildlife and habitat, and water pollution. Okay.
For the social impact, overconsumption, higher resource price, economic effect, lack to serve local, economic loss, explosion, human health problem, like an asset loss, national security. For the alternative, they change the gas state to the liquid state, and the transport by land and water. Lastly, conclusion: the pipeline have high cost to build in the short term, but for the long term are worth to invest on. The pipeline can reduce the pollution which occur during the transportation by truck or oil tanker. Thank you.
Thank you very much. But the conclusion, some is not true. You see, pipeline can reduce the pollution which occur during transportation by truck or oil tanker. But if we have accident, you see, in Rayong, right? We have a leakage of pipeline, right? You see, right?
ครับผม
You agree with me? But it's not your fault. I mean that we can put this one later on in the monitoring phase, because it is not the thing that we forecast the accident like that, right? But however, when the project finish, we can monitor, right? The final phase during operation, we can have something like a monitoring method to monitor whether the project is as good as we think or not, like that. An example is, for example, nowadays in Rayong province, we have the problem of the leakage of the pipeline, of oil pipeline, right? And this damage a lot of the ecology in the sea, right? ใช่ไหมครับ agree? Okay, thank you very much. It's interesting and it's not the same as the other. Good. Now group number 2. Now are you ready, Taro?
ครับผม
Okay.
ดีครับอาจารย์
ใช่ไหมลูก group number 2 นะลูกนะ
สวัสดีครับ
Okay. Please share the screen. Group number 2. Another interesting topic, because it used to be the number 1, the biggest dam in the world, but nowadays no. But once in 20 years ago. Okay, let's start.
Okay, so today we are talking about the Three Gorges Dam on the Yangtze River located in China, which is one of the world's biggest hydroelectric facility. Okay, so for the objectives of the Three Gorges Dam, the main objective for the dam is to supply water for the largest hydroelectric plant in the world, as I said, and to help control the devastating floods that plague the lowlands downstream from the dam. And for its features, it's a straight crest concrete gravity dam, and it's 2,335 meters long with a maximum height of 185 meters. And moreover, it incorporates 28 million cubic meters of concrete and about 463,000 metric tons of steel into its design. And for the surface area of the reservoir is about 419 square miles. Okay, so discussing about the benefits, it has a positive environmental impact on emission. And the Three Gorges Dam offer a various way to save energy. And the dam has improved recreational access along the river, such as tourism. And it has improved hundreds of kilometers of waterway and offer renewable power resources. พี่ต้องครับ
Okay ครับ for environment impact caused by Three Gorges Dam, one of the immediate development effect of the Three Gorges Dam has been an increase in landslide activity. Another major issue with the dam is the way in which it's affecting biodiversity in the area. Animal and plant life has been greatly threatened due to flooding and in some habit and water diversion in order to over the emit a lot of pollution into the air during the construction phase. For social impact, the most important effect of that the construction of the Three Gorges Dam has had on Chinese society, the displacement of millions of people from the Yangtze River region. In order to establish the reservoir possible, thousands of towns and villages were evacuated and later submerged. Indeed, there is a major concern that the displaced will be made even poorer due to landlessness, joblessness, and food insecurity. The displaced and more often than not farmers with little formal education, if any. This spells trouble for any attempt at mobility within the major cities. Next, for minimize impact. In the case of this dam, we cannot go back to solving the problem as such, but what we can do that help heal or affect forests, animals, and humans. The government should have a policy to help with this. For example, policy to increase or expand aquatic species, reforestation policy, and disaster relief policy.
Hello.
So next I will be talking about the other alternatives for the Three Gorges Dam. So one of the things that we benefit from building Three Gorges Dam is energy, as we know, and as a renewable energy source, hydropower is the most commercially for generating electricity. But actually, we still have alternatives to power generations, such as solar energy, wind energy, and tidal energy. So in this case, we'll be talking about the tidal energy. This is another form of hydro energy that uses twice daily tidal currents to drive the turbine generators. And although tidal flow, unlike some other hydro energy source, isn't constant, it is highly predictable and can be therefore compensate for the periods when the tide current is low. So let's wrap up to the conclusion part. The Three Gorges Dam does have a lot of impact to the overall environment, but on the other hand, it is also supplying water for the largest hydroelectric plant in the world, which is considered as a clean energy. Moreover, this project itself could control floods and generate electricity, which is a benefit to the big community. And that's all of the presentation today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's very interesting, because as you said that this is the largest hydroelectric plant in the world. Yes, that's right. But, if this kind of project, if we propose to implement this kind of project in Thailand or other countries, it will never happen, because social impact of this one, about 1 million people have to move to other area, but this is by the control of the government. Chinese government, they can do everything, but they manage very well. They build a new condominium for them, give the new land for them to do farmers to pick up the products and sell the product in the supermarket. Super managed, yes, for that one, but it gave a lot of social impact. But since it is China, they can do everything. It's interesting project. We can do later on in detail, right? Thank you, very good, very good. So next time we finish all, right? Only group number 13 you can present next time. Number 13, are you here?
Yes, I'm here ครับ
You present next time เนาะใช่ไหมคะ
ได้หมดครับ It's already finished
มีแล้วเหรอลูกมาแล้วเหรอ
ครั
อั
บ
นไหนครูไม่เห็น
ยังไม่ได้ส่งไปครับแค่มีไฟล์เรียบร้อยแล้วแต่ยังไม่ได้ส่งครับ
พร้อมเสนอหรือเปล่า Are you ready
ใช่ครับไม่มีปัญหาครับ
Okay now you can present and you send it into line and you present and then we can finish Okay
ครับ
ส่งมาในไลน์เลยลูกไลน์กลุ่มอ่ะ
เดี๋ยวแชร์สกรีนเลยไหมครับ
เอาเลยลูกแชร์สกรีนเลยครับ
Is it on? Is the screen up ครับ
เห็นแล้วลูกเดี๋ยวส่งมาในไลน์กลุ่มด้วยนะลูกนะ
ได้ครับ
ใครแชร์สกรี
Okay,
น
so we'll be presenting, we are group 13, right? We'll be presenting about an oil rig on oil mining facility. For example, we have chosen Chevron because it is one of the biggest shareholding in oil rig sections or oil extraction companies in Thailand. So, and then we will start off with a little bit of information is that what is EIA? EIA is an environmental impact assessment system which will be applied by an organizations who control the regulations on which if the company is able to pass the environmental impact assessment.
เราข้ามไปตรงโปรเจกต์ได้เลยลูก
Okay. So in the project feature, so Chevron is a natural gas, condensed and crude oil extraction company in Thailand. The gas that is produced is sold to PTT or PTT Public Company Limited of Thailand. So basically, the offshore company just only do oil extractions. It's this oil extraction we use later on after distillation and processing as fuel, cooking gas, or whatever you want to use it for. Okay, so let's begin on how we determine our project objective. So in Thailand, we have a lot of serious environmental problems. These issues causing the problem by usually oil leakage or large quantity oil extractions. This have impact on social and marine life. So our objective is to determine the change in petroleum hydrocarbon concentration in the seawater and the sediment of the oceans, and due to oil spill, oil extractions, and the construction of oil rigs, and how will this change affect marine and wildlife, and the statistics of the spill and its location, how much it has changed per year. And the benefit of our project from what we think that is good. By researching and observing the change of the environment, it allows us to determine the damage and allow us to control the situation before it's go out of hand. And it's also allow us to determine the process of controlling the contaminations as well. We could see a better use of alternative green energy after we see how much damage on this unrenewable energy actually do แล้วก็ to raise awareness on the society on the damage of the non-renewable energy ครับอันนี้ก็ environmental impact ครับ so the waste and the risk of the platform so we can see that there's a lot of water waste in the construction part and also even when we drilling down to get to the oil we use jet injection water pressure injection and when we inject that down it actually cause an oil leakage anyways or even when we connect it with the transportations it also cause oil leakage in the ocean level and this is how the oil spill or leakage actually damage the habitat so the oil leakage this create a thin layer of film on top of the water which do not let oxygen in and out or do not let any gas exchange block out sunlight and also it's really messy and it's really chemically not really nice okay so this is the location and the risk of oil spill according to the research in Thailand we can see that according to the area there's 3 zones of danger so it's usually around the mouth of Chao Phraya River and according to the statistic as you can see that it's actually the same as well so this is shown on the years each year the big oil leakage happens and the volumes that it causes usually it's a crash between the transportations vehicle and this is the statistic so by showing the statistic I do not mean that you guys need to read it or anything but it just shows that from each year onwards for example in Rayong in the year 2005 and 1995 you can see that the concentration actually goes up that's all just I want to show you that every year that every time that it happens by keep doing this every year the same thing it increased the concentration of the petroleum hydrocarbon and it's caused a really bad environmental impact on the ocean ecosystem ครับแล้วก็ social impact so you can see that this is the graph of the number of the spillage increasing from the year 1974 to the year 2008 this impact also caused financial stress mental stress and physical stress on the people around that area it destroys tourism it destroys the fishing community the transportation of food and goods basically make a temporary stop on the community movement in that area how do we minimize the impact so we can minimize the impact by changing into green energy increase the quality control standards or go into more of a eco-friendly or kind of like use less oil kind of thing and we can go to other alternative energy such as tidal wave energy and wind energy just some of the example and to conclude according to our study Thailand have extracting oil in the Gulf of Thailand for a really long time however there's still an issue and significant oil transporting method resulting in reporting oil spill huge impact and environment and causing damage to people in the area so we conclude that there should be an improved method in oil extraction or quality control or otherwise try to encourage a better green energy options
Good thank you very much very interesting project because it's a current issue let's continue and go into detail later on and try to propose how to minimize this impact because it's interesting right it's current issue do you agree น่าสนใจนะลุงนะ thank you very much okay see you next time ค่ะ next time it will be group number 1 2 3 4 5 6 we will go into detail, focusing on the method. How can we predict what will happen during construction phase? Okay? Okay. บ๊ายบายค่ะลูก สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
ครับอาจารย์
สวัสดีครับ
ขอบคุณมากครับอาจารย์
ครับลูก เดี๋ยวครูจะ stop recording